Hey there! Welcome to Natural Cures channel. Today I want to talk about a fascinating and somewhat surprising topic, the potential link between picking your nose and Alzheimer's disease. Yes, you heard that right. Recent studies have suggested a possible connection between this common habit and an increased risk of developing Alzheimer's. So, let's dive in and explore this intriguing subject together. First, let's talk about how common nose picking really is. Did you know that a 1995 study revealed that 91% of people admitted to picking their nose? It seems like it's an almost universal habit. People do it for various reasons, from removing that pesky booger to nervous habits that can turn into compulsive behaviors. Now, to understand how nose picking might be associated with Alzheimer's, we need to discuss chronic inflammation. Chronic inflammation is at the core of many modern diseases, including heart disease, cancer, dementia, autoimmune disorders, and even chronic hepatitis. A review by Western Sydney University suggests that chronic neuroinflammation, which the study authors believe can be triggered by nose picking, could contribute to the development of Alzheimer's disease. It may seem like a simple thing, but frequently picking your nose could have consequences. Let's talk about the microbiome and its relationship to nose picking. Just like our gut, our nasal cavity has its own unique set of microorganisms that protect us in various ways. Researchers suggest that altering this nasal microbiome through habits like nose picking can change how harmful pathogens spread and even reach the brain, contributing to chronic neuroinflammation. Animal studies conducted in 2022 found that bacteria, like Chlamydia pneumoniae, can infect the central nervous system through the nose, traveling via the olfactory nerves, responsible for detecting smells, and the trigeminal nerve, one of the main nerves in our face. This way they can reach the brain and increase the risk of Alzheimer's. Moreover, an article in the journal Biomolecules analyzed and showed how viruses, bacteria, and fungi associated with Alzheimer's disease can initiate brain inflammation through the olfactory system. That's right, through the nose. Studies have also shown that periodontal infections, which disrupt the oral microbiome, are increasingly linked to a higher risk of Alzheimer's. Researchers found an altered composition in the oral microbiome of people with Alzheimer's, including bacteria directly linked to the formation of amyloid plaques, one of the main pathological findings of the disease. It's important to note that as we age, the composition of our nasal microbiome changes and starts to resemble the one found in the oropharyngeal area, the throat. This change directly influences the nasal microflora and may play a role in the development of neurodegenerative diseases. There's a two-way connection between the nasal microbiota and diseases like Alzheimer's. This means that changes in our nose can affect the brain and vice versa. In fact, researchers point out that pathogens can invade the brain through the olfactory system, contributing to the typical neuroinflammation found in Alzheimer's disease. But here's an intriguing question. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? Was it an already compromised immune system that led to neuroinflammation and in turn, Alzheimer's? Or was it the other way around? Did age-related inflammation and the onset of Alzheimer's trigger a failure in the immune system, allowing these pathogens to enter and cause neuroinflammation? We don't know yet, and we're awaiting more studies to find out. Among the pathogens found in the brains of people with Alzheimer's are the Toxoplasma parasite, the herpes virus, and the bacteria that cause pneumonia. And let's not forget the super important role of our gut microbiota. Changes in the gut can also affect our oral health and, consequently, the brain. This highlights the importance of prioritizing gut health as it may be directly linked to the risk of developing Alzheimer's. This information shows us how interconnected the human body is. Changes in one part can affect other areas in ways we're only beginning to understand. The authors of this recent study also warn that something as simple as improving hand hygiene can be a crucial preventive step, especially for our elderly loved ones. So why should you think twice before repeatedly bringing your hands to your nose? You should avoid this habit, especially if you're sick or have a weakened defense system. The nasal cavity is a real reservoir of pathogens that can spread easily. Studies show that the nasal microbiome changes with age and after exposure to various infections and immunological conditions. This means that the profile of your nasal microbiome can directly influence your immune defense response. For example, 2018 data revealed that up to 30% of people are permanently colonized by Staphylococcus aureus in the nasal cavity, even without showing symptoms. And those who have the habit of picking their nose are much more exposed to greater colonization, which can lead to opportunistic infections, including in surgical sites. Moreover, picking your nose can lead to serious infections, especially if your nails leave small cuts in the nasal tissue. These cuts can be entry points for bacteria into the bloodstream. A 2023 study showed that healthcare professionals who picked their nose had an increased risk of contracting viruses and other opportunistic infections that can spread and cause pneumonia, otitis media, asthma, and chronic rhinosinusitis. The message here is clear, folks. Maintaining good hand hygiene and avoiding nose picking are simple practices that can help protect our health in many ways. And of course, if you have this habit, don't be scared or frightened thinking that you'll get Alzheimer's. There are several other triggers for the disease, and more research needs to be done to prove this theory. In conclusion, while the link between nose picking and Alzheimer's may seem surprising, it's essential to understand the potential connections between our habits, our microbiome, and our overall health. By taking simple steps like improving hand hygiene and avoiding nose picking, we can help protect ourselves from various health issues, including the potential risk of Alzheimer's. Remember, our bodies are complex and interconnected systems, and taking care of one aspect of our health can have far-reaching benefits. So, let's make a commitment to prioritize our well-being, be mindful of our habits, and spread the word about the importance of good hygiene practices. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you found the information helpful and enlightening. If you did, please give this video a like, share it with someone who might benefit from this knowledge, and subscribe to our channel for more health and wellness content. Your support helps us continue to address important topics for our health. Take care of yourselves, and remember, small changes can make a big difference in your overall well-being. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.